Hello and welcome back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create this campaign and automate everything in Infusionsoft. So what you want to do is go to your little navigation menu thingy, and under marketing we'll select campaign builder. That's where I am now on this screen. I'll click on create a campaign. I'm going to name this one 4-day cash machine 2.0 template. Now, you can name yours, of course, whatever you want to. So we just need to create and name a campaign, and then we have this here. And this campaign is very, very simple structurally. So we will, first, we'll have drag a little sequence over here. And I'm just going to name this click sequence. And if you'll recall, from the frameworks that I've given you, this is where we're going to use that click sequence email framework, which is really, really simple. The goal of the click sequence, I'll drag this over here, the goal of the click sequence is, of course, to get them to click a link. So what we'll do first is we'll say this goal is achieved when someone clicks a link, and I'll just say clicks link. That's what I'll name that. So I'll click on save. We'll connect these two. So what this now means is that if we have like 1 million emails in here, and if they click the link on email number 1, they're not going to get emails 2 through 1 million. So this sequence will stop when this occurs. So of course, if they click the link, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put them in another sequence, which is going to be the countdown sequence. So I'll just drag these over, and I'll call this countdown sequence. I spell it right on camera, miraculously. And of course, the goal of the countdown sequence is to get them to buy something. So in this case, I will say purchases a product, and I'll say buys, and we'll just click that here, and we'll connect all of these 3 or 4 elements together. So the campaign starts. They're getting the emails that say, hey, I made this little video for you. I hope you enjoy it. If they click it, then they're now in the countdown sequence, and they're in the countdown sequence until they either buy or not. So one thing I always like to do in every campaign is put a little placeholder for people who don't click, for example. So in this one, I'll just call this exit rather. Did not click. So this means they simply did not click our countdown sequence. And in this case, I'll build another one, and this is called, drag that over to make it prettier, I'll call this exit did not buy. So now we can do other stuff with these folks later on if we want to. We could put them in another campaign, for example. So now the question becomes, what do we put in these green boxes? Well, this is where our click sequence is going to go. So I'll double click this, and I'll open it on up. So what we're going to do is we will just send a series of emails designed to get them to click the link. So I'll just drag an email here, and then we'll say, we'll wait a day if you like. So I'll just click on this here. Say wait 1 day. Run on any day at 8 in the morning seems fine. And I will do the same. I'll drag another email. So this is now day 2. And you know what's cool is if you want to, you can hold down your control button and then copy it by holding your control button and releasing it like that, which is kind of neat. So I'll do the same thing, just holding down control, dragging this thing over here, releasing my mouse, and then releasing control at the same time. So we have 1, 2, 3 days. I'll drag this over here. Again, remember, hold down your control button to copy it there. And I'm holding control the entire time, releasing the mouse, and now releasing control. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 emails, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll have 1 more day delay. So I'll drag it over here, and at this stage, it will now end the sequence. So if I go back, so notice they start day 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm waiting a day, and if they never click, they're going to end up here, which is in the exit did not click area. And of course, we can put these people in another campaign or do whatever you want to do with them. So I'm going to double click the sequence again. And now I'm just going to save these timers. So anytime something's gray in Infusionsoft, as you probably know, it's not ready. So I just click on save, double click it. I'll click on save. double click it, and I'll click on save. And then for the quick sequence email, you just refer to the quick sequence email framework that you have as part of this training, and that's what goes here. All right, so what I'll do, just for the sake of really illustrating how the campaign works, is I'll build one of these emails for us, just so you can see how to track when they click the links. So in this case, this is just a regular template. I'm just going to highlight some of these words. I'll click on link. I'll say http www.google.com. There we go. Insert. Okay, so I'll click go from draft to ready. That means the email is ready. I'll title this day 1. All right, so I'll just switch this from draft to ready. There we go, and I'll go back to campaign. So now what I want to do is I'm going to double click this clicks link thing. And as you can see, I only created and saved one email. So as you can see, it's got my email here. And I basically, if I check this box right here, it is saying if someone clicks this link, then it will trigger this, and I'll put them in the countdown sequence. So let's talk about the countdown sequence. Well, obviously, our link that we're going to send them to is going to be a web page with the tutorial plus the discount offer on it. So they might buy immediately, right? So if they do, we don't want to start sending them emails. So we have it configured where we won't here. So this is automatic. But what I want to do in your countdown sequence is something slightly different. So I'm going to double click this to edit the sequence. And the difference is I'm going to wait a little bit before I send them a follow-up email. All right, so I'll double click here. And I'm going to say, let's wait just a couple hours. You know, let's maybe even just wait 1 hour. All right, and we'll run any day, and we'll say between 12 a.m. and 11:45 p.m. So an hour after they click the link, we're going to send them another email. So this is going to be email number 1. So this is day 1. Now remember, we set our timer for 4 days, right? So I'm now going to create another timer here, and I'll say we're going to wait a day. So 1 day. Any day at 8. There we go. And I'm going to drag another email here. All right, and so I'll just do the old copy again. So I'll just hold down Control. And while still holding Control, I'll now release my mouse, and that's copied it. And I'll now release Control. Bring these fellas over here together. Copy this. Tie them together. Copy this. Tie them together. So this is day 1, 2, 3. Copy this. Tie them together. Okay, so this is day 1. That's yep, day 1. This is day 2. Right here. This is day 3. And this is day 4. And there we go. And so what I'm going to do one more time here is I'll add a delay timer. And we can, of course, send multiple emails if you want to in day 4. You have the framework for the countdown sequence in the training that I've given you that accompanies all of this, so you know how to construct those emails. In this case, I'm just going to wait a day for simplicity. And I'll run it at, I'll say any day. I'll run it at 8 a.m. And therefore, if they don't purchase, then they'll go into here. So the only real things left to do in this case is tell Infusionsoft what the product is that they're supposed to buy that will stop this, right? So in my case, I have a lot of products. So I'm going to say specific product purchase, and let's say this was for, I don't know, my legacy collection, for example. There we go. I click on save. So the minute they buy legacy collection, this stops happening. If they never buy it, they go here, etc. So our last things we want to do, of course, are actually construct the emails based on the frameworks I've given you. When you're done with them, you always want to go from draft to ready. And then when you're done with the sequence, so everything in your sequence needs to be green. So the minute we go from draft to ready, I'll just show you here. There we go. It's green, right? So we need to save all of our timers. That'll turn them green. Save it. That'll turn them green. So if you don't have all of this stuff from green, it's not technically ready. When everything's green, we take the whole sequence. We go from draft to ready. And you'll see we're good here. For these, I just save them as is. I rarely do anything here unless I'm sending them to another campaign. So in this case, I'm just going from draft to ready. That means after I run the campaign, I can look into here, see who these folks are, and drop them into another campaign if I want to, or tag them, or you can really do whatever it is you want to do. So once all of this is done, we click on Publish, and the campaign is built. Now, if you find this stuff to be confusing, you can, of course, just reach out to my office and we can pre-install all of these things for you, where all you really need to do is just plug in the email content and the links and you're good to go. But that's how you build this little campaign. Pretty cool. Okay, I'll see you soon.